Hello friends, my name is Miranda Van Beers, and today I'm going to be doing a devotional with you. I'm pretty much going to be focusing on prioritizing your time and identifying distractions. And the reason why I want to touch on this topic is because this is something that I have been working through all throughout quarantine, and just being aware of how I'm spending my time and if it's intentional or not, if it's either bringing me closer to God or if it's taking me away from His presence. And something that really made me aware of where my hours throughout the day and throughout the week were going was my weekly iPhone screen time report, and being able to see how many hours I spent on social media, texting my friends, on Netflix, on the internet. It really convicted me in the best way possible to really want to reprioritize how I spent my days and my weeks. So I'm going to be reading in Luke 10 verses 38 through 42. So if you have your Bibles and you'd like to read with me, that's where I'll be. It says, "As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, 'Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me.' 'Martha, Martha,' the Lord answered, 'you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.'" I like this passage because I like how it highlights the both sides of how Mary is at Jesus' feet and is being attentive to what he is sharing, and then Martha is sort of worrying about other tasks that she has at hand. And I totally get how easy that is to do on our everyday lives, is to get caught up with our responsibilities and things that we have to get done. And I really like how Jesus sort of lovingly corrects Martha in the best way, saying how Mary's in the right to be in the presence of the Lord and to prioritize him. And I think it's interesting how the way Martha sees it is that Mary is doing a disservice to her. Rather, Jesus sees it as Mary is doing the best thing possible to be at his feet and to be attentive to what he is sharing. So I really like the contrast that it shows, and the perspective that changes when you are prioritizing your time with Jesus. I'm going to switch you over to Matthew 13 verses 22 through 23. It says, "The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of the life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown." I really like this passage because I think it's cool that it shows the contrast of a good seed and a bad seed, and in the ability to hear. And I think when you aren't prioritizing Jesus and you're not spending time with him, then your hearing can be cloudy, and your distractions can take you away from being fruitful, and you can miss the point that Jesus is trying to get across. Something that I want for myself, looking back at this quarantine, is I want to have a season that is fruitful, and I want to have a season that prioritizes Jesus as much as I can. So I would say something that helped me a lot when I was younger and in junior high and FSM was I had a place set aside that was designated to spending time with Jesus. So I had a corner of my room that I would always read in and pray in and worship in. And I knew when I was in that space, this is where I gave my undivided attention to Jesus. And it was really helpful to just make that a practical thing in my life, that this is my area to spend time with God and focus on him fully. And I guess that would be my challenge for you guys, is to set aside a place inside your house, outside your house, wherever you feel comfortable, and let that be a designated place where you get to dwell in the presence of the Lord without any distractions. And then my question for you guys is to identify what distractions are taking you away from spending time with God. And I think this is really helpful because once I saw where I spent most of my time, the hours throughout the day, throughout the week, it was really easy for me to adjust my schedule and being, I need to step back in this area and I need to step forward in prioritizing Jesus in this time. I hope that you've enjoyed this devotional, and I hope you have an amazing day.